In Ennis, County Clare, a €1.6 billion data center with a 200 megawatt capacity just got High Court approval after 6 years of legal battles. Now, that's just one project in Ireland's €100 billion bet on data centers. Paul Madden, in his January 2026 investigation, even calls it the new Celtic tiger. But what exactly does betting billions on data storage mean for a small country? Ireland's data center market, already at $3.38 billion in 2026, is projected to hit $7.16 billion by 2031. This isn't just about hosting Netflix. We're talking about the backbone for AI, for cloud computing, for literally every digital service you use daily. But the catch? All that compute needs power, and lots of it. So, how is Ireland balancing this massive economic opportunity with the real-world demands on its infrastructure and environment? Let's dive into the specifics of this massive gamble. In March 2026, after nearly 6 years of legal challenges, the Irish High Court finally greenlit a €1.6 billion data center project in Ennis, County Clare. This single project, with a 200 megawatt capacity, is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Ireland's bet on data centers is now being called its new Celtic tiger, a comparison to the country's rapid economic growth in the 90s. From an estimated $2.91 billion in 2025, the Irish data center construction market is projected to more than double to $7.16 billion by 2031. This isn't just about new buildings. This is a story about a nation with over 60 years of experience in data, tracing its journey from 1960s mainframes to becoming a global software exporter in the 1990s. Data centers have been operating here since the late 90s, but something significant is happening now. What happens when a small, connected nation doubles down on becoming a digital hub for the world? What are the economic wins, and what are the hidden costs? We're going to break down the incredible numbers behind this massive investment and why it matters not just for Ireland, but for the global digital economy. The government, in its eagerness to foster digital economy infrastructure, views these data centers as foundational. Paul Madden's 3-part investigation, Ireland's €100 billion bet, published on January 30th, 2026, details how the country is positioning data centers as its new Celtic tiger. This isn't just about big numbers. It's about a strategic reorientation akin to how foreign direct investment in manufacturing propelled Ireland's economy in the 90s. An independent KPMG Ireland report highlights the current economic impact, showing data centers anchoring over $116 billion in annual gross value added, or GVA. To put that in perspective, the Ennis project alone, at €1.6 billion and 200 megawatts, represents a massive vote of confidence, finally greenlit by Justice Richard Humphreys in the High Court on March 25, 2026, after 6 years of legal hurdles. This isn't just a bet on servers. It's a bet on being a critical hub for the global digital infrastructure, a role Ireland has been cultivating for decades. From those early mainframes in the 1960s, Ireland's data journey has been a long one. Ireland's journey into the global digital backbone is far from a recent phenomenon. It's a meticulously engineered story stretching back over 60 years. Our technological lineage isn't merely deep-seated. It began with the installation of early mainframes, such as the IBM 1401 at Jefferson Smurfit Group in 1963, a testament to a progressive outlook in the nascent computing era. By the 1990s, Ireland had transitioned from merely consuming technology to actively shaping its future, notably exporting sophisticated software solutions through companies like Iona Technologies, establishing itself as a key player in the global digital landscape. This long-term commitment to technological advancement is precisely why hyperscale data centers have been a fixture here since the late 1990s, fostering a foundational expertise that profoundly distinguishes Ireland from many newcomers. Research by Dr. Tamana June from the UCD Geary Institute for Public Policy, published on October 1, 2024, meticulously traces this evolution. She highlights how this rich historical context, from the pioneering mainframes to becoming a dominant software exporter, systematically laid the groundwork for the continuous and significant growth we've witnessed. Consider Google's sprawling Grange Castle 2 campus, inaugurated in 2012, which isn't just a facility. It's a tangible testament to this sustained investment and accumulated expertise. It stands as one of 144 operational data centers, run by over 30 distinct providers, distributed across the Republic of Ireland. This isn't a speculative gamble on fleeting trends. It's a strategic, long-term play built upon decades of robust infrastructure development and a consistently nurtured talent pool. It's this kind of enduring commitment that has propelled us from those early mainframe days into the booming multi-billion euro sector we observe today. The market's growth is truly meteoric, underpinned by compelling statistics and strategic advantages. The Irish data center construction market alone is projected to hit an impressive $2.91 billion in 2025, surging to $3.38 billion by 2026, and then a staggering $7.16 billion by 2031. This translates to a robust 16.19% compound annual growth rate, CAGR, between 2026 and 2031, according to the latest analysis from Mordor Intelligence. The overall Irish data center market isn't far behind, expected to reach $4.04 billion by 2031 from $2.99 billion, with a steady CAGR of 5.17% from 2025 to 2031. This isn't just about raw numbers. It's about a concentrated boom, particularly in key regions. On May 19, 2026 press release from researchandmarkets.com, highlighting the comprehensive Ireland Data Center Investment Analysis Report 2026, unequivocally confirms these substantial growth projections. Michael Urey, market intelligence lead at Data Center Dynamics, echoed this sentiment in his influential May 22, 2025 report, Dublin, the heart of Ireland's data center boom. He points out that Dublin has become a pivotal global data center hub, attracting significant investment and development, largely due to its strategic transatlantic positioning, favorable corporate tax regime, often cited as 12.5% for trading income, and a temperate climate ideal for efficient cooling, reducing operational costs for facilities like those operated by Microsoft and Amazon Web Services. These factors contribute to remarkably competitive development costs in Ireland, making it an exceptionally attractive proposition for hyperscale and colocation investors. This explosive growth isn't just theory. It's driving massive, tangible projects like the proposed €1.2 billion Ennis data center campus, a testament to the country's burgeoning digital infrastructure. The most striking development illustrating Ireland's billion-dollar bet is undoubtedly the Ennis endeavor. On Wednesday, March 25, 2026, the High Court granted final approval for a massive €1.6 billion, or $1.8 billion, data center project in Ennis, County Clare. This wasn't a quick rubber stamp. It cleared the path after almost 6 years of persistent legal challenges. Justice Richard Humphrey's definitive decision to dismiss all remaining judicial appeals, including those brought by environmental groups concerned about energy consumption, now allows developers ART data centers to move forward with their ambitious plans for a substantial 200-megawatt campus. Proposed back in 2019, this colossal facility, envisioned on a 145-acre site near the M18 motorway, represents more than just a large financial investment. It's a concrete example of Ireland's digital strategy expanding robustly beyond the saturated Dublin region, bringing significant international investment and advanced infrastructure directly to regional areas like the Midwest. For instance, the detailed site plans outline 6 state-of-the-art data halls, spanning an impressive 1.2 million square feet of technical space, with a keen focus on sustainability through innovative features like an integrated vertical farming facility and a pioneering connection to a wider district heating system that could service local homes and businesses. This project's approval, finally secured after years of complex legal and environmental battles, including over a dozen separate planning submissions and appeals, reinforces the government's strategic push to attract and embed major tech infrastructure across the entire island, moving us into a future where these unprecedented opportunities and looming threats become increasingly intertwined. The Ennis endeavor, while an undeniably significant win, simultaneously spotlights the looming threats to Ireland's ambitious digital future. The biggest concern, repeatedly voiced by critical infrastructure operators like EirGrid and documented extensively by academics, is the massive and escalating energy consumption. Dr. Tamana June, a senior research fellow from the Geary Institute for Public Policy at UCD, specifically examined this existential challenge in her seminal October 1, 2024 paper, The Digital Paradox: Ireland's Energy Conundrum. She directly referenced EirGrid's stark warning of a mass exodus of digital investors and existing operations if the national power supply cannot reliably keep pace with demand. Consider the national grid, already under considerable strain from burgeoning industrial and residential needs, now needing to consistently deliver a staggering 200 megawatts just for the Ennis project alone by its projected 2029 completion, on top of the 1,500 megawatts already consumed by existing data centers. This isn't merely about flipping a switch. It necessitates an unprecedented build-out of new generation capacity and upgraded transmission infrastructure. Sustainability forms a massive and unavoidable piece of this puzzle. With such a heavy carbon footprint, Ireland's continued success in attracting major players like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft hinges on integrating renewable energy sources at an unparalleled scale to power these data behemoths. Public policy and regulation become absolutely critical here. How does the government balance the undeniable economic boost from a €100 billion new Celtic tiger with the escalating environmental impact and infrastructure demands? Michael Urie, market intelligence lead at the IDA, highlighted Dublin's naturally temperate climate as ideal for efficient free air cooling in his May 22, 2025 sector report, a natural advantage that becomes significantly less impactful or even moot if the primary energy powering the backup cooling and IT racks originates from carbon-intensive fossil fuels. Can Ireland truly navigate these complex challenges, or will its billion-dollar bet ultimately be derailed by the very scale of its own success? What Ireland's billion-dollar bet on data centers really shows us isn't just a story of immense economic growth or a new Celtic tiger fueled by server racks. It's a classic infrastructure challenge, reminiscent of past industrial revolutions where rapid expansion ran headfirst into resource constraints. The €1.6 billion Ennis project, after 6 years of legal battles, perfectly illustrates the tension between economic opportunity and the very real limits of power grids and environmental impact. The future isn't about whether more data centers will come, but how Ireland manages the immense energy demands to ensure this prosperity is genuinely sustainable, not just a short-term boom. Have you ever seen a major infrastructure project in your own city face these kinds of energy or environmental pushbacks? Drop your story in the comments below. If you're tracking how global shifts in technology are impacting real-world economies and infrastructure, then subscribe for more deep dives like this. And if you're curious about other large-scale infrastructure bets, you'll want to watch my breakdown of how the U.S. CHIPS Act is reshaping semiconductor manufacturing and its own energy footprint next.